Welcome back, everyone. Let's resume towards the most awaited and most exciting battle session of the day, the pro-con session. Here, the first one is about the two-dimensional versus three-dimensional echo for mitral valve repair, and the second one, whether a patent for Raman will be closed or not in a CABG. For this, I am pleased to invite the moderators, Dr. Rajiv Juneja, Senior Director, Cardiac Anesthesia and Critical Care at Medanta, the Medicity Gurgaon, Dr. Sandeep Mutha, the Treasurer of IACTA, President-elect ASO, Dr. Sanjita Umbarkar, Professor and Head of the Cardiac Anesthesia at KEM Hospital, Mumbai, Dr. Jigisha C. Pujara, Professor of Cardiac Anesthesia at UN Mehta, Ahmedabad. May I now request Dr. Rajiv Juneja to introduce the speakers and do the proceedings. Over to you, Dr. Rajiv Juneja. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody, to this much-awaited pro-con session. We have two debates in this section. There are four talks, two debates on whether 2D echocardiography is better or 3D echocardiography is better for mitral valve repairs. And of course, the old question of whether a PFO should be closed, unanticipated PFO should be closed if found during a CABG procedure. The first speaker who will be speaking for 2D echocardiography in mitral valve repairs is Dr. Sanjay Goel, from an Associate Director at the Max Super Specialty Hospital, Vaishali, Ghaziabad. He has a number of 30 publications. He's a diplomate in the transesophageal echocardiography from the National Board of Echocardiography, USA, and is interested in ECMO and TE. Dr. Sanjay, please start your talk.
My screen is visible?
Yes,
No.
yes.
Good afternoon, everybody.
You have to share your screen, please.
Share your screen. Oh, okay. Is it visible now?
Yeah. Yes.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Just click on the screen, doctor. Just click on the screen once again.
It's a double voice is coming. So, good afternoon, everybody. Myself Dr. Sanjay Goel. I will be presenting on 2D echocardiography is enough for the assessment of mitral valve repair. Click on the screen. Should I stop share and share again?
Sure, doctor. Yeah. I think you'll have to close your video playing in the background.
Just a minute.
Sure, restart the timer.
Yes, doctor.
Is it okay now?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry, some problem with the laptop. So good afternoon, everybody. I would like to convey my thanks to the organizer for giving me this opportunity. I will be speaking on 2D echocardiography is enough for the assessment of mitral valve repair. As we all know, the mitral valve repair is a desired procedure for the correction of mitral valve regurgitation, and mainly it is done by surgical technique, and slowly portocarditis technique is picking up, especially in this part of the world. And success depends on the combination of factors like performance expertise, the pathology of the mitral valve disease, the echocardiographer's experience, and the echocardiography imaging plays a significant role in the good outcome of the mitral valve repair. The anesthesiologist involved in the management of this procedure during preoperative, intra, and the post-operative procedure. The echocardiographic assessment of the mitral valve involves the assessment of the anatomical description of the mitral valve, the mechanism of the mitral valve dysfunction, because the treatment modality depends upon the mechanism, the severity of the dysfunction, and the feasibility assessment of the feasibility of the repair. Both 2D and 3D TTE and TE are being used to make the diagnosis. And here I'm not to say that 2D is superior or 3D is superior. We all know the 3D has come later and is being evolved, and more people are using 3D, so it is superior. But the question is there any consensus guideline which states that the 3D is mandatory for the mitral valve repair? Or is there a guideline which states that one cannot do mitral valve repair in the absence of 3D echo machine? And can a thorough systemic examination of mitral valve repair using 2D echocardiography provide the sufficient information for the successful mitral valve repair? So let's see what the literature says. This is a paper published in 2006, which is a head-to-head comparison of 2D and 3D transthoracic and TTE echocardiography in the localization of the mitral valve prolapse, published in JM College of Cardiology. The aim was to study the accuracy of 2D and 3D echo in evaluation of the mitral valve pathology. The study was done in 112 patients in severe MR, and echo data was compared with the surgical inspection. And the 2D echo provided the precise information of the mitral valve anatomy. If we see the accuracy of the localization of pathology, the 3D was accurate in 95%, TT was 90%, and 2D TE was 90%. 2D transthoracic was 77%. And the author commented that the 3D can act as an adjunct to the 2D examination. Another publication in 2007, which was again the comparison of 3D versus 2D for the mitral valve repair, done by the Garcia Ota R. et al. He compared the diagnostic performance of both preoperative 2D and 3D for the surgical findings in 81 patients. And they found a high concordance between the 2D and 3D, almost 90 to 100% in diagnosing the involved segment. However, the 3D was slightly better in A1 pathology and the commissural lesions. If we see the incorrect segments, the 2D was incorrect in 22, but they all were the complex cases, whereas 3D was incorrect in 14, which was not related to the complexity. The next publication came in 2010, which was the preoperative scallop by scallop assessment of the mitral valve prolapse using 2D transthoracic examination. And it was published by Minari G et al. It was done in 77 patients with a degenerative MR. And again, the gold standard was the surgical findings. They studied the 462 scallops, and they found 102 prolapse in surgical finding. 2DT found the prolapse in 92 patients, which shows the 90% sensitivity and 100% specificity. So the diagnostic accuracy was almost 90%, which was almost increased to 98% for A2P2 prolapse, which we all know. And the accuracy came down for the anterolateral and the posterior commissure, which was around 50 to 60%. So again, the 2D echocardiography was almost gave a diagnosis in 90 more than 90% of the cases. This publication came in 2011, which compared the accuracy of 2D versus 3D in transthoracic and TE in identifying mitral valve pathology in patients undergoing mitral valve repair by the Jerky B et al. He studied 2D TTE and TE versus 3D TTE and TE in diagnosing the mechanism of MR. And again, the surgical findings were the gold standard. It was done in 40 patients. And there was 100% agreement among all modalities in identifying the functional MR. Similar findings are found in identifying the prolapse or the flail segment. 3D-TE was better for, again, anterior leaflet and the segmental analysis. However, the 3D-TE was least sensitive and least accurate in identifying the flail segment. So the conclusion by the author was both 2D and 3D-TE was comparable in diagnosing MR mechanism, and 3D-TE was slightly better for the localization of the pathology. If we see the multiplane analysis study for the ischemic MR, this publication came in 2011 by the Fatou K et al. In 45 patients. And both the approaches found the similar tenting area and the palpation length. However, the interpapillary muscle distance was greater at the level of papillary muscle in 2D echocardiography. Another study we came for the assessment of mitral palpitation zone for with 2D and 3D transesophageal echocardiography before and after mitral repair in 2018, done in 848 patients. In 2D, they measured the palpation length and palpation index, whereas in 3D, they measured the palpation area and palpation index. Both CLI and CAI correlated with the MR severity. Our author said that the 2D CLI was a good alternative to 3D CAI because of easy to use simplicity and gave the same results. This publication came in 2020 by the echocardiographic evaluation of mitral valve regurgitation by the Nanda C et al. And the author, after great details about the both 2D and 3D, said the 2D echography is a modality of choice for understanding etiology and the mechanism of MR. And author used regurgitant jet, color Doppler, PISA, and vena contracta for the assessment of the mitral regurgitation. However, they advised 3D echo only in the cases of percutaneous mitral cliff and some cases of complex mitral anatomy. So again, 2D was the modality of choice for the imaging purpose. And now, if we move on from the preoperative assessment to the intra and the post-operative post-procedure assessment, 2D is there is no debate that 2D can give as an outcome benefit for the patient undergoing minimally invasive cardiac surgery for the cannulation placement, and 3D doesn't have has no outcome benefit for the adequacy of repair for the mitral stenosis, SAM, or residual MR. However, if I talk about the percutaneous mitral valve repair, there is no sufficient data to compare between 2D and 3D, and in surgical technique, in all the studies, surgical findings were the gold standard for the comparison. But and therefore, 2D was able to do a good assessment in almost more than 90%, whereas in 3D, it is better for 95%. So only 5% benefit in 3D. So most of the cases we can get away with doing the 2D examination. Whereas in percutaneous, I cannot say for sure because data is not available. And more people are using 3D for the percutaneous, and there is no you have to have a precise for the placement of cannula and the device. Therefore, 3D is probably better. This is another study which recently published, which was the echocardiography and the correction of the mitral regurgitation and unbreakable link. It gave a detailed perspective from the pre, intra, and post procedure. And again, the author's conclusion was that 3D is still the complementary, it cannot be a substitute of 2D echocardiography. And most of the cases you can get away with doing the 2D echocardiography examination. So my take-home message is, with a thorough and the systematic examination, you did 2D echography can provide three-dimensional assessment of the mitral valve, and it provides all the information required for the mitral valve repair in majority of the cases. In few complex cases, surgeons' experience overcomes the limitation of the 2D echography. Thank you.
Dr. Mutha?
Yeah. You can unshare your screen now. Yeah. Our next lecture is by Arupratham Maiti. She will be talking about 3D echocardiography is mandatory for MV repair. He is qualified. Can go back to the slide. He's MD DNB, and he has done FIECTA, and he is accredited for echocardiography. Over to you, Dr. Arupratham.
Good morning. Thank you very much. I'd like to give a big thank you to the organizers and Muralidhar sir, and a huge cheers for all the delegates all across the globe who are watching now. And thanks for being here today. So yeah, 3D echocardiography is mandatory for MV repair. I have no conflict of interest. I have used Philips mitral valve navigation MVN software and Siemens Easy Valve software for my presentation. And when I compare 2D and 3D, the best comparison I can find the old 2D phone and now today's smartphone. I think whoever watching today have shifted themselves with the smartphone. So I think similarly, I think we have shifted towards the 3D from 2D. And what does mandatory mean? The mandatory is an adjective. So different dictionary gives different meaning, but the medical dictionary gives the meaning as a legal, ethical, or political requirement to execute actions or orders. So mind the word ethical, I'll come back to it later. So basically, mitral valve is a 3D structure, and it changes its shape and size with change in hemodynamic systole and diastole. So how can you image the mitral valve with 2D, giving accurate information and parameters? It's not possible. This publication has summarized all the advantages of 3D over the 2D, and lot of reference, lot of papers have been summed up here. I'm not going to the, I'll go into the practical aspect. So how 3D had changed the mitral valve surgery because of the softwares. So the mitral valve navigation softwares, for this you need to take 3D images and videos, and then offline editing for 5 to 7 minutes, you get a lot of data. You can see the mitral valve model, how is the shape, size, all the leaflets and the parts A1, A2, A3, P1, P2, P3, leaflet area, leaflet volume, tenting area, tenting volume, all lot of parameters you get. And there are different displays of the mitral valve navigation, which also help us. Like in the left side, you can see there's a prolapse in the A3, where in the right side, there is a prolapse in the A1, apart from all the parameters you get. It's very easy to differentiate fibroelastic deficiency with Barlow's, which is practically very difficult with 2D. And you can see prolapse in the P2 here, but in Barlow's, there are prolapse of multiple segment in both the leaflets. And obviously it makes surgical difference. And obviously in functional MR, as you know, the annulus gets flat, and also the regurgitant volume and is not reliable in 2D. So it gets funnel separate, and 3D is only reliable factor to measure the MR in functional MR. So now we got a lot of parameters from the MVN, AP diameter, leaflet 3D area, tenting volume of all the segment A1, A2, A3, P1, P2, P3, mitral valve tenting height, automitral angle, and lot of parameters. At the end, you get a report like this mitral valve anatomy report, which is very much useful for surgical decision making. And Siemens Easy Valve report gives a similar kind of report as the MVN, but additionally it gives intra-diagonal distance and intercommissural distance. So I'm now giving you some few practical examples. In multiple jets with regurgitation or stenosis in the other valve, like aortic valve or pulmonary valve, there is no other way but 3D vena contractor area is the only method available to detect the grade of MR. And in Barlow, if you compare the images of 2D and 3D, hardly you can appreciate a rupture of the chordae. But in 3D, you can look it from the atrial surface and the ventricular surface and the rupture of chordae and prolapse, everything is so easy. I have given, at the bottom of the slides, I have given the references for all whatever I'm saying. Mitral valve perforation is very difficult to detect sometimes if it's small in 2D, and it's impossible to localize to tell the surgeon where it is. But in 3D, as you can see, it's very easy, and you can exactly localize where it is. Identification of the cleft is nearly impossible in 2D in most of the situations. 3D is too easy, but definitely you need to differentiate from indentation and cleft. Mitral annular calcification is a very important parameter as far the mitral repair is concerned. And if there is mitral annular calcification, we don't go for repair, sometimes go for replacement. So in 2D, hardly we can see, very difficult to diagnose mitral annular calcification appropriately, but in 3D, it's excellent. Also, it gives idea of the commissural fusion, and 3D MVA is definitely much better than 2D MVA. So for the beating heart mitral repairs and many other surgeries, we need to look at the left atrial ostium. Many times the pectinate muscle confuses with clot and we can't take a decision, but we need to explain to differentiate and definitely a zoom view to image at the LA ostium to rule out the clot and go ahead with the repairs. Obviously for the mitral valve, the beating mitral valve repair, you need 3D guidance of all the guiders and cleaves. And on top of that, you need a lot of parameters because we need 3D mitral valve area more than 4 centimeters square for a mitral cleave. In 2D, that's not possible. So 3D is inevitable in mitral cleave and also in the NeoCord. NeoCord is also the beating heart mitral valve repair approach from the LV apex. You can guide the guiders and everything by live 3D, and obviously you get pre-operative and post-operative result, and you can generate a MVN software to see that the prolapse, the red elevation area has gone after the repair. And obviously the surgeons, and we want to see these kind of images, mechanical valve and prosthetic valve after the surgery. And obviously sometimes we also concurrently use the tricuspid valve repair along with the mitral angioplasty. Obviously you want to see these kind of images. So you can see all three, this AVR, mitral valve angioplasty and tricuspid valve angioplasty, you can see in one plane. And for paravalvular leak, if this leak is small, it's very difficult to detect in 2D, and obviously you can't localize. And surgeons sometimes go into bypass and can't find anything. But for 3D, it's quite obvious. You can specifically localize whether it's 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and you can tell the surgeon, you go there and you get it. And obviously, imaging of the circumflex artery after mitral valve repair is very important. In less than 2% cases, patient has catastrophic events if circumflex is teased. You can see I usually put an explain of the circumflex. You can see through and through, and the length of the circumflex also in the 3D. If you have good image, you can see the circumflex. And obviously, in presence of the MR, the LV function, the EF is overestimated. We don't know how is the function. 3D echocardiography is much better in this aspect. Coming to my slide. So a legal, ethical, or political requirement to execute the actions or orders. What does ethical means to me? If I can give accurate data, accurate diagnosis, accurate information, better standard of care, that's the ethics to me. I'll stick to that. So I think the mandate is quite clear. 3D echocardiography nowadays at this era is mandatory for mitral valve repair. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Doctor. You could unshare your screen, please.
Yep.
Dr. Maiti. Thank you for that talk. And Dr. Sanjay, would you like to have a rebuttal to Dr. Maiti's talk?
Sir, what I would like to say is that there is no doubt about the superiority. But the question here is that whether you can get all those informations which have been mentioned by Dr. Maiti by the 2D echocardiography or not. Apart from the mitral cleft and the percutaneous repairs, I think most of the information can be obtained by the 2D echocardiography. The studies have shown that all the data we can get by 2D echocardiography. And 3D still has not, there's a consensus or the guideline which says that you should have 3D in your echo room for doing the procedure. That's my say that.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjay. Well, I would just like to make a comment. There is no doubt that 3D echocardiography for the mitral valve and the mitral valve apparatus provides unequivocal delineation of the anatomy and an analysis of the mitral valve apparatus. It also provides an NFOS view of the origin of the MR, the scallops involved, the perforations and the clefts. It also, now that we know that the vena contracta and the EROA are not really spherical but hemi-elliptical, it provides us the right kind of anatomy. Whereas 2D is much easier to do. It provides all the measurements required, except perhaps for sization of the valve. It provides a visualization of all the leaflets. So I would say that 2D and 3D as of now are complementary to each other.
Yes.
Both are certainly required. Perhaps with improvements in technology, 3D technology, one would later shift on, but that we need to see in the future. I don't see any questions in the chat box. So, Dr. Mutha, any comments from the other moderators?
Yeah, actually, we can switch on to smartphones later on, but the regular phones are still in use, and they are not. The smartphones are not become mandatory. So still, 2D echocardiography is used, but as the time goes, as the 3D echocardiography develops more, it may take over 2D echocardiography in MV repair. Wajib.
Dr. Sanjita or Jigisha, would you like to?
I also agree that even though the 3D echocardiography is more advanced, you get real time what is happening during the peri-procedural event. But the centers, there are some centers where 3D this facility is not available. So should they not do the repair? No. In such cases, they should proceed with the 2D echocardiography. And even though the 3D echocardiography is the advanced one, the 2D first, the learning curve is much more than the 2D. So the even 3D is there, 2D will also still remain in competition with the 3D, even though it is what you call it is not much advanced. But I think it will remain.
Dr. Jigisha, any
Yes, sir. I would like to say I agree with you. Both are complementary to each other for good 3D images. 2D acquired image is mandatory, and of course we have to learn the 3D, and we have to use 3D as a demand of the time, and we cannot deny the advancement, and we should not forget our basics. So both are complementary and both to be used.
Thank you. Dr. Sanjita, would you like to take over the next session?
So now coming to the next
section. Thanks everyone.
Yeah.
Doctor, we'll just have a video being played right now. Just give us a few minutes.